Lewis Hamilton has just taken Ferrari's 2026 Project 678 out on track, and what he discovered is shocking. The car behaves in ways even the engineers didn't fully anticipate, and it could rewrite the championship before the first race. If this issue is real, Ferrari could either dominate the early races or face catastrophic reliability problems. Meanwhile, Red Bull, Mercedes, and McLaren are watching every lap, ready to exploit any weakness. Insiders reveal that the most surprising aspects are buried deep in the hybrid system, the aerodynamics, and the new suspension setup. Ferrari has kept the specifics under wraps, and even the FIA is quietly monitoring developments. Later in this video, we'll expose exactly what Hamilton found, why it has the engineers scrambling, and how this could impact the entire grid. What's coming next could change everything about the 2026 season. Ferrari's Project 678 enters the 2026 season as one of the boldest technical experiments in modern Formula One. The car features a completely redesigned hybrid power unit, a radical aerodynamic package, and a reimagined chassis structure. Lewis Hamilton, stepping into this engineering marvel, reportedly detected anomalies immediately during pre-season testing subtle behaviors that did not show up in standard telemetry. These anomalies affected cornering balance, throttle response, and braking stability, prompting engineers to pivot their entire pre-season approach to identify and mitigate potential systemic issues before the first race. The hybrid system lies at the core of Ferrari's ambitious gamble. In 2026, the balance between combustion and electric power has been redefined, forcing engineers to carefully manage energy deployment and recovery. Hamilton reportedly noticed fluctuations in energy output that could affect corner exit speeds, tire wear, and lap consistency. Even minor irregularities in such a complex system could cascade into critical performance or reliability issues, raising concerns about whether Ferrari's radical design could withstand race conditions across the season. Suspension and chassis dynamics further complicate the picture. Project 678 reintroduces pushrod suspension on both front and rear axles, aiming for optimal aerodynamic efficiency but increasing sensitivity to driver inputs. Hamilton's initial impressions indicated that minimal changes in throttle or steering could result in disproportionate reactions, signaling potential integration challenges between the hybrid system, chassis, and suspension geometry. Engineers are now meticulously analyzing these interactions, knowing that misalignment in one area could amplify instability elsewhere on the car. Aerodynamic innovations contribute another layer of complexity. The car's nose and front wing have been redesigned to maximize downforce, while an active aero system dynamically adjusts airflow during high-speed maneuvers. Hamilton reportedly observed that, while theoretically beneficial, slight mismanagement of these systems could disrupt balance at high velocity, turning performance advantage into potential hazard. Ferrari engineers face the delicate task of synchronizing these aerodynamics with the hybrid deployment and suspension behavior, ensuring that Hamilton can exploit performance without risk. The steering wheel and driver interface have been redesigned to manage unprecedented technical complexity. While F1 regulations demand sophisticated hybrid and aero control, Ferrari has streamlined key controls to reduce cognitive load, inspired by endurance racing prototypes. Hamilton's early feedback suggests this simplification allows him to manage energy deployment and aero settings efficiently, but the sensitivity of the car still requires extreme precision. Every input is amplified by the integrated systems, leaving no margin for error during testing or race conditions. The psychological and strategic stakes are immense. Hamilton must navigate the car's unforgiving behavior while providing precise feedback that engineers rely on to guide development. At the same time, rival teams monitor Ferrari's pre-season performance closely, searching for weaknesses they can exploit. This dynamic transforms routine testing into a high-stakes chess game where even the smallest anomaly could have implications across the paddock, forcing Ferrari to balance aggressive development with cautious risk management. Finally, the implications for the 2026 season are enormous. If Ferrari has successfully integrated the hybrid system, chassis, and aerodynamics, Hamilton could be driving a car capable of dominating the grid, rewriting expectations after the team's disappointing previous season. Conversely, any unresolved anomalies could compromise reliability, driver confidence, and championship prospects. Hamilton's first encounters with Project 678 are therefore not merely tests of speed, they are a crucible that will determine Ferrari's strategy, competitiveness, and psychological advantage before the first race even begins. The first partial revelation unfolded as Hamilton pushed Project 678 to its limits on the pre-season test track. Sources suggest that he immediately noticed anomalies in the hybrid power unit's energy recovery and deployment patterns. While these inconsistencies were subtle and mostly invisible on standard telemetry, Hamilton's sensitivity to car behavior allowed him to detect irregularities in acceleration and cornering balance. These findings immediately prompted Ferrari engineers to shift focus from conventional performance testing to meticulous diagnostics, realizing that what appeared minor could have cascading effects across multiple systems. Rival teams quickly caught wind of potential vulnerabilities. Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren reportedly analyzed sector times, lap-to-lap data, and subtle speed fluctuations to try to infer whether Ferrari's pre-season pace masked underlying issues. Even without access to Ferrari's internal telemetry, competitors could pick up on indirect signals that suggested instability, forcing them to recalibrate their simulations and early season strategies. Hamilton's early detection effectively turned pre-season testing into a strategic intelligence battle, where rivals attempted to anticipate the consequences of what Hamilton had observed. The hybrid power unit remained at the center of attention. Hamilton reportedly observed energy deployment irregularities that could impact corner exit performance, tire wear, and overall lap consistency. Ferrari's engineers immediately ran multiple simulations across different track conditions to determine when these deviations occurred and how severe they might become during races. The intricate integration of the hybrid system, combustion engine, and chassis meant that even minor anomalies had the potential to escalate into significant reliability or performance challenges, demanding urgent resolution. Suspension and chassis dynamics further compounded the complexity. Project 678's revised pushrod suspension, designed to maximize downforce and mechanical grip, interacted intricately with the hybrid system. Hamilton noted that small adjustments in throttle or steering caused disproportionate reactions in car balance, signaling potential integration issues. Engineers were forced to meticulously map these interactions to ensure that correcting one problem did not inadvertently create another. Each test lap became a critical experiment, with the team balancing performance potential against the risk of destabilizing the car. Ferrari's pre-season priorities shifted dramatically. Where the focus would have traditionally been on aerodynamic fine-tuning, tire degradation, and incremental setup improvements, engineers were now dedicating significant resources to diagnosing Hamilton's observations. Every wind tunnel session, CFD simulation, and track iteration was scrutinized not only for performance, but for latent instability. This demonstrates how a single driver's insight can redefine the operational focus of a top F1 team, emphasizing careful management of risk alongside pursuit of raw speed. The psychological and strategic pressures intensified. Hamilton had to provide precise, actionable feedback while continuing to push the car to generate meaningful performance data. Engineers needed to interpret these insights accurately and implement rapid adjustments without introducing new issues. This driver-engineer dynamic highlights the increasingly critical role of F1 drivers as technical collaborators whose nuanced feedback can directly shape pre-season development, strategic planning, and race readiness. Finally, the implications of Hamilton's findings reverberate beyond Ferrari. Rival teams reportedly recalibrated their simulations, adjusted testing schedules, and revised early season strategies based on subtle signs of potential vulnerabilities. Even indirect evidence of instability was enough to influence competitor preparation. Hamilton's early detection transformed the pre-season into a high-stakes environment of observation, analysis, and competitive maneuvering, setting the stage for a season filled with tension, uncertainty, and dramatic shifts in the 2026 Formula One Championship. The first key twist comes as Hamilton's discovery suggests that the anomalies in Ferrari's Project 678 are not isolated but could be systemic, affecting multiple integrated systems simultaneously. Sources indicate that the hybrid power unit, chassis response, and aerodynamic balance may all be subtly compromised under certain conditions, amplifying inconsistencies in high-speed corners and critical braking zones. Engineers are running exhaustive simulations to determine whether the problem is a minor calibration issue or a deeper flaw that could undermine Ferrari's competitive potential across various circuits. Each lap is now scrutinized not just for speed, but for subtle behaviors that could reveal vulnerabilities to rival teams. At the heart of this twist is the hybrid system's unpredictable energy deployment. Hamilton reportedly detected fluctuations in power delivery during acceleration and cornering that could disrupt tire management and compromise corner exits. Engineers are analyzing how these deviations interact with the combustion engine and chassis integration. The interdependence of these systems means that even minor anomalies could escalate into significant reliability or performance issues, highlighting the urgent need for a full understanding of the problem before the season opener. The FIA's role adds another layer of complexity. While Ferrari remains within regulations, the intricate integration of the hybrid system with the car's aerodynamic and suspension package could attract scrutiny if rivals perceive an advantage. Any corrective actions by Ferrari are likely to be closely monitored, and competitor protests could follow if there is any perceived breach of rules. This regulatory pressure forces Ferrari to balance the pursuit of maximum performance with strict compliance, creating a high-stakes scenario where engineering decisions carry amplified consequences. Ferrari's pre-season testing strategy has been transformed. Sessions that traditionally emphasized aerodynamic refinement, tire wear management, and setup optimization are now dominated by diagnostic testing focused on Hamilton's observations. Engineers must evaluate every lap not only for raw performance but also for system stability, integration, and reliability under varying conditions. This pivot illustrates how a single driver's insights can fundamentally reshape the priorities of a top F1 team, blending aggressive development with careful risk mitigation. The psychological pressure on Hamilton and the Ferrari engineering team is immense. Hamilton must deliver precise, actionable feedback while pushing the car to gather critical performance data. Engineers must interpret this input accurately and implement rapid adjustments without introducing new issues. This driver-engineer dynamic underscores the growing importance of F1 drivers as technical collaborators, where their observations can directly shape pre-season development, car setup, and early season competitiveness. The ripple effect of Hamilton's discovery extends beyond Ferrari. Rival teams such as Mercedes, Red Bull, and McLaren are reportedly recalibrating simulations, adjusting testing priorities, and revising early season strategies based on subtle indications of Ferrari's potential vulnerabilities. Even indirect evidence of instability is enough to alter competitor preparation. Hamilton's detection has effectively turned pre-season testing into a high-stakes intelligence operation, where every lap, data spike, and anomaly is analyzed for strategic advantage. Finally, the long-term implications for Ferrari's 2026 season could be enormous. Engineers must validate every subsystem, hybrid map, and chassis interaction to ensure consistent reliability and performance. Any unresolved issue could compromise early races, erode driver confidence, and threaten championship ambitions. Hamilton's early identification of these anomalies has transformed pre-season into a crucible, where each engineering decision, adjustment, and test session carries amplified consequences, setting the stage for a season filled with tension, unpredictability, and high-stakes competition across the grid.